Subtone. Subtone is a technique you might recognize from some early jazz saxophone players like Ben Webster. They would use that a lot in the lower register, particularly when playing ballads. And that really fluffy low end of the saxophone. That's what we call subtone. It doesn't always sound the same. Nowadays we have a few different kinds of subtone that we use, particularly in contemporary music, and they'll all have a little bit of a different sound. Subtone essentially means that you're getting rid of the high partials in the sound. To give you an example, if I played that same tune without subtone, the sound is quite different. It's just a pass filter that gets rid of that really full, rich sound and replaces it with just the kind of lower parts of the sound. The way we achieve this technique can be done in a variety of ways. This kind of jazzy subtone is basically done by relaxing the embouchure. And it's often very airy, the sound, but we have different ways of doing subtone so that we can achieve the effect of removing all the high partials from the sound but keeping a lot of control and not having the airy sound at the same time. For example, you can hear it's just like a filter that's put on the sound. Now this technique is used predominantly in the lower register because once we go over the break, or once we start using the octave key, it's a lot less effective. And it tends to make the saxophone just sound out of tune. You can still write it for the upper register, and the performer should understand that it's about making a sound that's less bright and less rich, and not necessarily about the physical technique of subtone. It's more about the kind of color that you're looking for. But in general, subtone is best used in the lower register, the first octave of the saxophone. Here's subtone on the tenor saxophone again, this time with my kind of classical setup. Check out my video on the difference between jazz and classical saxophone to learn more about those differences. It is possible to go relatively quickly from one to the other, a normal sound and a subtone sound. That can be a cool effect. If you're writing already in the low register on the saxophone, double P, triple P, the performer may already be using subtone just to be able to get that really soft dynamic, but it can also be a color that you specify when writing in that register on the saxophone. Thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment the piece that you're working on so that we can check it out.